Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Trina here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the heroic spirits and their roles in the Holy Grail Wars from the Fate animes. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, just sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So, let's get started. Heroic spirits are the legendary souls of significant figures in history and mythologies. Their primary use in the Fate anime is as servants in the Holy Grail Wars. Heroic spirits come in three categories. They are actually historical figures, legends, or someone who formed a contract with the world. The heroic spirits that were actually figures consist of those who have been immortalized for their deeds in life. Examples of these actual figures seen in the Fate series include Alexander the Great, Vlad the Impaler, and Spartacus. As for legendary heroic spirits, they come from combining the world's beliefs about them, creating them into existence. Examples of legendary figures include Hercules, Achilles, and Gilgamesh. The final category of heroic spirit is very different from the other two. A heroic spirit created without heroic deeds in life or not being born from legends must have formed a contract with the world. The lore involving the world of Fate can be very complex. To make it easier to understand the world in Fate, imagine the world is split into different sections. The world of Fate is divided into these different sections. One section of the world is Gaia, also known as Earth. Gaia focuses on protecting the world and can summon counter-guardians and guard servants to help defend it. Aliyah is another section of the world meant to safeguard humanity. A person can make a contract with the earth or another part of the world to become a heroic spirit. The most significant example of a contractual heroic spirit is the heroic spirit of Emiya. In life, Emiya did not have his heroic deeds known by the world and wasn't born of legends. He would agree to protect the earth with the power he gains as a heroic spirit. Emiya would be called upon to counter threats to the world. These heroic spirits are also known as counter-guardians. The heroic spirits are timeless and can come from any point in history and even the future. Therefore, the heroes and guardians of the future can protect the world after their death like any other heroic spirit. An example of this is again the heroic spirit Emiya. During the events of Fate's Stay Night, the main timeline, Emiya was summoned as a heroic spirit of the future to compete in the Holy Grail War. Now that we have established what heroic spirits are, let's talk about the perks and abilities of heroic spirits. Heroic spirits all have what is called a noble phantasm. Noble phantasms are the embodiment of the heroic spirit's powers. They can be very different for each heroic spirit because of the legends surrounding them. Some of these noble phantasms can change the battlefield's landscape or be their crucial weapon in a fight. The heroic spirit, Alexander the Great, also known as Iskander the Conqueror, had a noble phantasm named Ainooni Hetaroi. His noble phantasm allowed him to call upon an army of heroic spirits that served under him in life that were still loyal to him after his death. His noble phantasm also includes what's called a reality marble. A reality marble is like world-altering magic. The caster of the reality marble creates a world within a specific range and takes the people within the range into a world the caster made. To cast one has a mental image forced upon the world temporarily. A noble phantasm that takes the form of a weapon in Fate is King Arthur's sword named Excalibur. Fate's version of King Arthur was a female named Artoria. Her noble phantasm took the form of her sword. Excalibur could convert the user's magic or mana energy into a beam of destructive power that would claim the life of almost any enemy. Heroic spirits usually only have one noble phantasm, but there are cases where heroic spirits possesses up to 4. There are extreme cases where the heroic spirits Gilgamesh and Emiya possesses many noble phantasms. As I said, though, those are severe cases. The world makes the heroic spirits in case of world-threatening events. The heroic spirits may participate in the Holy Grail Wars as a reward for their service. These wars allow a heroic spirit to have one wish granted if they win the war. The heroic spirits are summoned as servants to their usually living human masters in the war. They follow their commands and fight other heroic spirits. When entering into the Holy Grail War, a heroic spirit is summoned through an object with a solid connection to the spirit. The heroic spirit is then summoned as one of 7 main classes of servants. These 7 main classes of servants are Saber, Lancer, Archer, Rider, Assassin, Caster, and Berserker. Each class has its strengths and weaknesses to them. A heroic spirit may be able to be summoned as different types of servants. An example of heroic spirit fitting multiple servant classes is Chulanin. Chulanin was summoned as a Lancer servant in the main Fate timeline. Due to his legend, he can also be summoned as a caster, as seen in the movie Fate Grand Order First Order. The classes Saber, Lancer, and Berserker are usually the frontline martial fighters in the war. Archer and caster usually fight more from mid to long range due to their magic and weaponry. The classes of Assassin and Rider are harder to pinpoint, and it varies for every servant. Assassin can be assassin-like, hunting down other servants from shadows using their noble phantasms to prevent the other heroic spirits from entirely using their abilities. Some assassins take a more frontal method of fighting, but are still focused on precision strikes in combat. As for Rider, they usually fight using animals as a form of cavalry, but Rider often doesn't fully use their animals to fight. Examples include Achilles from Fate Apocrypha, where he fights more like a martial class, and Medusa from Fate's Stay, the main timeline, who acts more like an assassin than a rider. Rider as a class is more of an animal extension to other classes. The heroic spirit of a rider may act like another class, but they can still use their animals to make them a rider and are stronger for it. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and hackers could exploit you. NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. In addition to providing you with safe passage through the web, you can also expand the reach of your favorite streaming services. Are you tired of going through 2, 3, or even 4 streaming services to watch your favorite anime? Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country and be able to binge shows like My Hero Academia, Naruto, and many others on your favorite streaming service with just a press of a button. Check out the link in the description to get 72% off when buying for 2 years /$3.29 a month. This deal is for a limited time. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Besides the main 7 classes of servants, there are extra specialized classes that a servant may be summoned as. These additional classes include Ruler, Avenger, Moon Cancer, Shielder, Alter Ego, Foreigner, and Pretender. The Rulers are sometimes summoned to ensure the ritual of the Holy Grail Wars is adequately held, and they are not supposed to interfere unless something goes wrong. An example of a ruler servant is Joanne of Arc, who served as ruler in the Holy Grail War in the Fate Apocrypha timeline. The Avenger class is a class where only an anti-hero or evil-aligned heroic spirit can be summoned. They have not been seen in an anime adaptation yet, but a big heroic spirit in the lore of the main Fate timeline was Angra Mainyu. Shielder is an almost one-of-a-kind servant class that is only used by one character in anime. Mash Galahad is the only Shielder servant and is only seen in the Fate Grand Order animes. Pretender is a class that has been seen in Lord El Meloy II anime, where a heroic spirit pretending to be a different heroic spirit is spotted. A pretender is a heroic spirit impersonating another heroic spirit. They conceal their abilities by pretending to be a different servant. Moon Cancer heroic spirits have also not been in any anime adaptation or are seldom seen. Alter Ego servants have also not been seen in an anime adaptation, but they are split personalities of a heroic spirit that acts differently than the original. Finally, Foreigner isn't technically a heroic spirit class, but beings that are similar and are from beyond the dimension of the usual world. Again, they have not been in any anime adaptations. The last category involves the heroic spirit of the Grand Servant title. A Grand Servant is a heroic spirit that was the greatest of their time and is the best servant in their class. The 7 base servant classes of Saber, Archer, Lancer, Rider, Berserker, Caster, and Assassin each have a Grand Servant. Not all the Grand Servants have been revealed, but some have been seen in the recent Fate Grand Order anime shows and movies. The Grand Servants are meant to protect the world from evil. An example of a Grand Servant being summoned is King Hassan. King Hassan is the greatest of assassin servants and was summoned to protect the world against Tiamat. These Grand Servants are only summoned under special circumstances and do not participate in Holy Grail Wars. The Holy Grail Wars have much more to them and deserve a video of their own, but the heroic spirit aspect is what we will be looking at next. The Holy Grail War itself is an existing topic that can create a lot of exciting matchups. The Holy Grail is supposed to happen every 60 years. The start of the Holy Grail deserves its own explanation, but the Holy Grail War began in the 1800s. The first 3 wars have not been shown in anime adaptations. There are only glimpses and mentions of the results. During the anime Fate Zero, the prequel series to Fate Stay Night adaptations, the 4th Great Holy Grail War takes place. Finally, the 5th Great Holy Grail War takes place during the Fate Stay Night anime adaptations. During the Holy Grail Wars, 7 servants are summoned by humans to kill the other 6 servants. The masters of the servants give orders to the heroic spirits, and usually they are followed. The heroic spirits that are summoned, though, do not have to listen or to follow the commands of the masters. They may even kill their masters if they don't like them. The masters, however, are guaranteed safety to some extent. The masters are granted 3 command seals that, when activated, force the heroic spirit to follow the order no matter what it is. 2 examples of these command seals used against the heroic spirits will be their use on the Lancer heroic spirits in the 4th and 5th Holy Grail Wars. In both instances, the Master Lancer heroic spirits use their command seals to order the heroic spirit to kill themselves. For the masters in both situations, it didn't end well for them afterward because they were both killed immediately after giving their orders. Another safeguard for the human master of the heroic spirit is that the heroic spirit is connected to the master. They were able to stay in the world because the master is supplying them with mana. If their master were to die, they would eventually disappear, leaving their only option in that situation to find a servantless master, kill many innocent people to steal their mana, or die. These heroic spirits have superhuman capabilities. There would usually be no way for a human to fight a servant, making these safeguards necessary. The Holy Grail War is very different across the different Fate timeline animes. A good example is the Fate Apocrypha Holy Grail War. Instead of 7 masters summoning heroic spirits to fight each other, there were 14 masters split into 2 teams. Each team would fight the other until one was left. Then the remaining masters and servants on a team would have a free-for-all. In addition, the anime itself allowed for many more exciting fights than are usually possible in the regular Holy Grail War. Overall, heroic spirits from the Fate series embody a historical person's deeds or mythological heroes and even unseen protectors. The world uses them to protect and keep balance. By doing so, the heroic spirits gain the ability to participate in the Holy Grail War, and if they win it, they can grant a wish they desire. To many fans, the Fate series creates many intriguing matchups between legends and real people, fulfilling the fantasies of many fans. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. And if you want more content from me, check out my Twitch at Trina or my other social medias as well. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day. Bye!